So I want to give you guys an idea of what to expect when you actually find out that you have to get a prostate biopsy. Um, I went to my urologist and, you know, had very normal PSA levels. However, during a examination and an MRI, uh, my doctor felt that it was best that I get a prostate biopsy. So I'm 60 years old and I've never gotten a biopsy before, so I had no idea what to expect. So I researched, I went on YouTube to see if there was any reference or any materials, and there was some, but surprisingly there wasn't a lot. So I kind of want to share my experience with everybody, and and so hopefully this will help you get through your biopsy. So I spoke to my doctor, and my doctor informed me that he did biopsies every Thursday. So we scheduled the appointment 3 weeks in advance on a Thursday. And they kind of told me a little bit of what to expect as far as pain is concerned. But the one thing that I couldn't kind of get over was that I had to be put under general anesthesia. And I've never been put under general anesthesia before, so I didn't really have any reference or any idea what it would be like. So the more that I watched and the more that I kind of researched the biopsy, I said to myself, do I really have to be put under general anesthesia? And I know that sounds crazy given what has to be done with the biopsy. But the more I thought about it, the more I wrapped my hands around about I would be more comfortable just doing a local anesthetic. So I called my doctor and I told my doctor, my feelings, and he said I was crazy. He said that 98% of people who get prostate biopsies get general anesthesia. But he did say to me, he said, well, honestly, when I got mine done, I was under local anesthesia. And I said to myself, really? He goes, yeah, because I'm a doctor and I kind of know what to expect, and because I've been doing it such a long time. So for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. So I gave it some thought, and I was going back and forth about, well, should I go in general? Should I go in local? Back and forth. I'm speaking to people, and people are telling me that I should go on general. 1, 2, 3, you go to sleep, you wake up, it's all over. Okay, fine. I guess the thing that concerned me was that I just didn't really want to have that feeling of nausea or being drowsy after the procedure. I would have to stick around for a couple of hours. And I figured, well, if I'm under local anesthesia, I can be in and out in 10 minutes, and it might be a good thing. So anyway, I decided to do the local anesthesia. So I got there yesterday at 2:30. My son drove me, and I wasn't nervous, to be honest with you. I kind of knew what I was going to expect from the procedure, and I felt like I can deal with the discomfort and the pain. And I tried to make some, humor out of it. Of course, it's a very dramatic experience. But the nurses were very nice, and they were lovely, and I'm sure they've done this 1,000 times before. So the first thing I have to do when I get there is I have to get a shot of antibiotic. And so the nurse brings me in the back room, and she asked me to drop my drawers, and she's going to give me an antibiotic shot in the butt. And I look at this needle, and the needle's like this big. And she goes, yeah, we got to stick it in the butt because it's a big needle, and the butt is a big muscle. So I said, fine. And she goes, I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to hurt. I'm like, okay. So I took down my pants. She gave me the needle. And the first second was fine, no pain whatsoever. But as soon as she started to inject the medicine, the antibiotic, oh boy, I felt the pain. So to describe the pain, it felt exactly like somebody kicked me in my butt. Like a hard kick in the butt. And that's what it felt like. So then after I got the shot, I went into the procedure room. I was greeted by the doctor and the nurse. And, I had to take off my clothes. They gave me a robe that was open in the back. And they let me wear my socks and shirt, and that was fine. So they asked me to lay down on a table with my butt all the way to the end on my left side. So I'm like, okay, this is not what I expected, because I expected to be on my back, but I was actually on my side, and quite frankly, I was more comfortable being on my side. So at that time, the doctor basically told me what was going to happen. They have a probe or an ultrasound, which they're going to put up my rectum, basically. And he says, I'm going to feel a little bit of discomfort, and we'll go from there. And he's going to put some numbing cream. And he did, and he put the numbing cream, and right after he put the numbing cream, he actually gave me local anesthesia. To be honest with you, I did not feel the needle going in at all, okay? The anesthesia, the lidocaine must have taken effect immediately, because I know he probably gave me about 5 or 6 injections to numb my prostate. I didn't feel it at all. I was very happy about that. So then they proceeded to insert the probe. I felt a little pressure, I would say a little discomfort, no pain whatsoever, but it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't painful. And then he basically prepared me to tell me that I'd be hearing this noise that sounded like a staple. And every time I heard the staple, that would be the needle penetrating the prostate for the tissue sample. Okay, so I'm all ready to go. He says, ready. I say, I'm ready. He goes, good. Take a deep breath. I hear the shot. And this is something I did not expect, and something that he did not warn me. It felt like there was an electrical shock up my penis from the inside. So, did it hurt? It didn't exactly hurt, but it definitely was not a great feeling, and it definitely was a little uncomfortable. But the good thing was, it literally lasted for 1 second. So the minute he gave me that, he did the staple, there was that sudden feeling, but it literally went away in 1 second. So then he proceeded and he did it again, and fine. It felt the same. It was a little shocking at first, but it lasted 1 second, and I said to myself, okay, I could deal with this. It's not so bad. So once he did 2 or 3, I was used to it. He told me before he was going to do it, which really helped, and it was okay. So I ended up getting 12 needles, so 12 samples of my prostate tissue, and really didn't feel any pain. Then he took out the tube, the camera. That was uncomfortable, it coming out, but it wasn't painful at all. And he says, okay, that's it, we're done. So I got to say, the procedure probably took about 10 minutes, the most. I sat up. He told me what to expect. He told me that for sure I would have blood in my urine and blood in my stool. And it's probably normal, and it will go away in a couple of days. And he says, well, the more water you drink, the faster it's going to go away. And also, he wrote me a prescription of antibiotics that I actually took 2 days before, and I have to continue to take it for another 4 days, just as a precaution so I don't get an infection. So as I got dressed, I honestly felt fine. I didn't really feel any discomfort down there. I really didn't feel any pain, and I felt as though I walked into the office the same walking out. And he goes, okay, you're good, and I'll give you the results in 7 to 10 days, and hopefully they come out negative. So I went home. I was home in about an hour. I figured that I did not want to pee immediately. I kind of wanted to give a little time to heal. So a couple hours went by, and I did take my first pee, and boy, he was not kidding. I pissed blood. It was blood. There was no pee. It was pure blood. And I was like, wow, really? He was not kidding. So when I saw that, I was a little nervous, but it didn't hurt. And then I was kind of determined to drink some more water, wait an hour, and pee again. So that's what I did. And the blood was substantially less the second time I peed. And then I drank more water, so on and so forth. And I got to say, after my third or fourth pee, there was no blood in my urine. So keep in mind, when I did pee the blood, it did not hurt at all. Okay? So that's kind of my experience with the prostate biopsy. I got to say, it was more, the thought of getting it done was more nerve-wracking than the actual procedure. So if I have to leave you with something, as long as you're mentally prepared for what's going to happen, it's really not that of a painful experience. And it's something that I walked out of and I said, wow, that was not nearly as bad as I expected. So I hope this gives you guys who have to get your prostate biopsy done. I hope this gives you a little bit of peace of mind, a little bit of comfort, and that's it for now. So thank you for listening to my adventure. Thank you.